Here we are, test run with the 3-blade propeller. Yeah. To see what sort of, we'll get it up on plane and then we'll measure the RPM and fuel usage. Exactly 2 kilometers per litre. Nudge it up. 40 kilometers. Take down a little bit higher. 40 kilometers per hour. We're looking about 4,800 RPM. 1.9 kilometers per litre. This for upper water. Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yep. 8.27. We'll do one more. So we had a previous best at 7.4 on this. Yeah. All right, here we are. We're just doing this on the water, as previously mentioned. Now these things are normally pretty simple. You generally just have a split pin to take out, which Peter's doing there. You get the split pin out carefully and then undo the one nut. Okay, so here's the new propeller. Have a look at this thing. She's a bloody beast. It is an absolute beast. I'm actually a little bit scared. I'm a bit scared of the performance that we're gonna get with this thing. How's your neck feeling, Peter? How's your neck feeling?
Good.
So it's probably about to get snapped off.
Okay.
I think we're going to have neck problems here.
Now, just bring that one over here.
obviously read the instructions very well. So the SOLAS instructions here, I'll give you a quick look.
And look at the pictures really carefully. Make sure you get everything the right way around.
Look at the pictures carefully. It's simple, but things need to be facing in the right direction. Otherwise, you're probably going to end up with problems. So we'll just put the nut on. Peter's putting the split pin in now, and we'll be ready to give it a start. Okay, I don't want to say anything too early here, but I'm already starting to feel some differences here.
And it feels like smoother.
Yeah, it's not trying to raise like.
It's smoother. It seems to run better for the starters.
This is weird. We're literally just pulling out, so this is yeah, I don't know. Very early to tell, but it feels different. It feels very different. Yeah, I just want to call out some numbers to you.
Okay,
start with 30 k's per hour.
30 k's.
Okay, 30 k's per hour. We have, sorry, I got to back it off a little bit. Okay, there we go. 3,200 RPM, 2.0 kilometers per litre. Knocked it up to 40. We have 4,000 RPM, 1.9 kilometers per litre. Knocked it up to 50. Do 60 on the other one. I think we just did wide open throttle from there.
We did 60 and wide open for 67.
Okay, well we might have to keep going the same. Oh, we might have to turn around up here and do it. We might have to do wide open throttle now and then come back to do 60.
Okay.
60 I'm not so concerned about though anyway. It's close enough to wide open throttle.
Okay.
Alright, so now we're going to do a top speed test. We just get out of the rougher water here. And then we'll do some acceleration timing. Alright. Oh, that nose just holds down beautifully. That's really nice.
I think it runs smoother too. I think there's less vibration.
Yeah, there is. I can feel it. Alright, wide open throttle.
Yeah.
We have 5,900 RPM. Wow. 5,900 RPM. 69 kilometers per hour.
And fuel.
Sorry, we're gonna have to do that again. There was some birds in front of me that stressed me out. Thought it was something else. Okay, we got that to 70 kilometers there, guys, just to let you know. That touched 70. The other prop only was getting to 67.
And same RPM too, 5,900.
Yeah, same RPM for 70 kilometers per hour. All right, we'll do that one more time.
Okay.
So this is unbelievable. You don't always lose speed by going to a 4-blade prop, which is exactly what I discussed with Peter Bobcat, the man who set this prop up for me. I'll talk more about that soon, but he's basically a propping genius. And he's going to help you guys out if you need help. All right, we'll do top speed again.
Yeah, see the WOT.
Oh, pushes that nose down so nicely.
If you turn the odd skier, it'll help.
Yeah. He's screaming. 6,100 RPM, 1 kilometer per hour, 1 kilometer per litre, some acceleration, some hole shot tests.
Okay, yeah. So we'll
absolutely no doubt, guys, this has got a higher top speed with the 4 blades. So Peter Bobcat, as I mentioned, he's helped me with this propeller. I gave him all my requirements. I said what I carry, what I do, what I need, and I discussed with him I still want top speed. I do not want a boat that is all hole shot. It's just got to have a bit of all-round performance. So I've actually gained top speed here, no joke. Now we're going to do some hole shot. We'll see if I've lost hole shot, but I certainly don't feel like I have. I haven't flattened it yet off the mark.
Okay, we're ready?
Just a second. This will
ready,
be our
count.
first hole shot test. Just a second. All right.
Counting down from 3. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yep.
Okay. 659.
659. Okay. So straight away, that's an improvement. Didn't get out very well there. I'll give that another go.
Yeah,
definite improvement. The nose did not raise as high as it normally would. It absolutely didn't. So it came up a bit and then it flattened out.
Okay, so we're going to do another run on that. So from 3.
Yep.
3. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I don't have a stopwatch.
So we've already bettered our best acceleration time ever. Now we'll see how we go this time.
Okay, from 3, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yep.
656.
656, so exact same time.
Near enough.
All right, we'll do one more.
Hang on, just going to note that time down.
Yep, 6562 in a row there. And we're doing to 20 knots, so that is definitely overplaning, guys, like quite a bit overplaning. I will see what it takes to plane in a minute, just for the sake of testing.
And here's the clock.
Bow attitude is definitely a lot better. I can already feel it. It now definitely holds the nose down purely with the usage of the engine alone without actually using the trim tabs. So I'm driving along at the moment and it's holding the bow in a really nice position. No trim tab usage whatsoever. Alright, so the last thing to do is, so basically I've gained hole shot, it has a better bow attitude, and we've gained top end. I'll have to have a think about that. I'll put the fuel figures into a table at the end of the video, but definitely better hole shot, definitely better boat handling, and it's actually quicker. And not just quicker, it revs out a lot quicker now.
Yeah.
So it actually gets there to that kind of, that mid-range torque. It's got a lot more mid-range torque.
Right.
So it's getting to that top end a lot quicker, whereas with the 3-blade, you really had to wring it out for a long time to get it to actually hit a top speed. Where now it just revs all the way up and just hits the top speed without any drama whatsoever. Alright, now it's time to get it out into the rough stuff and we'll see how we think it goes out there. Well, it's raining and it's bloody rough. It is choppy. Perfect conditions to try out the new 4-blade in. And what I'm noticing is I'm basically not even using the trim tabs at all here to keep the nose down. I've just got the engine trimmed in. With any usage of trim tabs at all, it's holding the nose down too far. So that's kind of what I wanted, for the trim tabs to be more effective. But yeah, it's bloody rough here, so we're going to have a tough day ahead of us. We're going to be fishing in the rain all day, but so far the 4-blade has really changed the way this boat feels. It's a lot more effortless now to just accelerate and control the boat through this type of rough water. One thing you will notice though is because it's holding the nose down, there's a lot more water coming over the front window now, so you definitely need wipers, and you definitely need the intermittent wiper switch, which I've got installed. Otherwise you'd be pretty stuffed in these sort of circumstances. Also, another thing that I've noticed is we're traveling along a minute ago and the fuel consumption was as low as sort of 2.3, 2.4 kilometers per litre, and I've never seen, I've never actually seen the engine do that with the other prop. It's sort of maximum 2.1, 2.2. So this prop is proving to be more efficient at quite a few rev ranges for sure. It is rough, guys. It is bloody rough. But I tell you what, the boat feels a lot better. It is confidence assuring. It basically feels how it should for this sort of size and weight of the boat. Now, there's one. We've got waves literally almost curling over the front here at times. The whole weight of this boat, I'm not totally certain. Barcrusher doesn't actually publish it, but I did find in an old article once that the hull weight was 1,100 kilograms, and that would sound about right because the Surtees 700 Game Fisher that we reviewed a little while ago, they are I think 1260 or 1270, so it felt like that boat had a little bit more or a bit more weight into it, so I'd say 1,100 kilos would be about right for this boat, just in case you guys are wondering. Obviously 2.35 metre beam, 20 degree dead rise. Okay, so how do you guys get yourself one of these props and get yourself set up? So as I mentioned earlier, you want to engage someone called Peter Bobcat, absolute propping legend. I think he resides down in Melbourne, but he often does trips up the south coast of New South Wales. But in this case, he didn't even come to me. We just discussed my requirements at length over the phone, and he basically sent me this propeller. Now, don't get me wrong, you will pay a little bit more than going through him rather than going directly to SOLAS, but he basically guarantees his work, and he really, really knows what he's doing. So this boat is performing beautifully, and it's all because of Peter, so thank you very much, Peter. You've done a fantastic job here. It's exactly what I wanted. Like literally exactly what I wanted. I did not want to lose speed by going to a 4-blade. So yeah, but if you have to as well, you know, if you don't want to go through Peter or whatever, that's fine as well. You can go through SOLAS directly, and they have some really good people obviously working there, and they've been doing it forever, so they know how to set up boats to perform the way you want them to perform. So look, I hope you guys have found this interesting. This prop gets a big mega thumbs up from me. It's just performing absolutely beautifully. We're out in some pretty huge seas right now, and the control and the attitude of the boat is just, it's just so much better. It feels like a bigger boat. Not only does it feel like a bigger boat, it feels like we've got another 25 or 50 horsepower on the back because of the torque that we now have. So can't speak highly enough, guys, of how this has turned out. We did it ourselves with the help of Pete. All right, we just thought we'd have a bit of a chat about those, about the propeller and how things kind of panned out, and we're just going to talk through the fuel usage and the speed and the RPM. So Peter, just want to remind us what we got with the 3-blader at 30 k's an hour.
Yep, so with the 3-blader we were at 3,300 RPM and 2 kilometers per litre. And the 4-blader, almost identical, 3,200, which could be a measurement error. Yep. And 2 kilometers per litre.
So almost identical RPM and fuel usage there at 30 kilometers an hour. That's interesting. Now what about 40?
40, pretty much the same. We're at, with the 3-blader, 3,900 RPM, 1.9 litres
kilometers per litre.
Per litre. With the 4-blader, 4,000 RPM and 1.9 again. So pretty much the same.
Very, very close.
If we look at 50, so 50 with the 3-blader, we're at 4,800 RPM and burning 1.5 kilometers to a litre. And on the 4-blader, pretty much the same, 4,900, 1.5 kilometers per litre.
Yep.
The wide open throttle is where there was a bit of a difference. With both props we got to 5,900 RPM.
Yep.
But we were getting 67 with the 3-blader and 70 with the 4-blader. Fuel consumption the same, 1 litre per kilometre.
Yep.
Where we see the big difference is in the whole shots. Coming out of... so we actually, I'll just go back to that one because we did get 3 kilometres an hour extra on that. So we just a little whiff.
So we got 3 kilometres extra top speed, which is actually a really good thing, because the main thing is I didn't want to lose top speed, and I discussed that with Peter Peter Bobcat, that is, when we chose this particular prop. I actually didn't want to be one of those people that lost speed because I wanted absolute maximum acceleration, whole shot, etc. I wanted more of a balance, because I knew the 4-blade was still going to be really good in the offshore situation. So basically we gained 3 kilometres there, 67 to 70 today.
Now in the whole shot times, we established last time we did this that it was about 7.5.
7.5, yep.
To go 0
so
to
0
20 knots.
0 to 20 knots, 7.5 with the 3-blader.
And with the 4-blader, we're consistently running in the 6.5, 6.6 range.
Yep.
So we've knocked almost a second off that one.
Yeah, so that's quite significant. Almost a second there, knocked off 0 to 20 knots and 3 kilometres additional top speed. The one thing that I guess the story doesn't tell is and we didn't actually time it, but 0 to top speed is a lot quicker now with this 4-blade. So it's got a lot more power through the mid-range, whereas the 3-blade takes a really long time to wind out to that top speed, where this prop actually just pulls all the way to wide open throttle. There doesn't seem to be any flat spots. It just keeps pulling, and then you're at wide open throttle.
And no hesitation to come over the hump and get on the plane.
No. So
it just went straight up.
Now what we've noticed, playing with the prop a little bit more today, I can just leave the engine trimmed up, like where you would normally have it driving around, and just accelerate, and it just pops on the plane in a couple of seconds. Whereas before we always had to trim it right down, otherwise it would really struggle to get up
to push over the top.
Over that top. So and offshore performance, absolutely excellent. This feels now like a completely different boat, and I know it sounds weird saying that. Well, I guess it just, I don't know, it feels a lot more solid in the water, better balance, more weighty. It feels like it stays in the water.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't give you that. To some extent before, you felt like you were a cork bouncing around on the top of the water.
Like literally it almost felt like you were bouncing over chop and waves all the time.
This is much more stable on the water.
It's solid.
And,
this feels much more, guys, I'm always comparing things, but this feels much more like Michael's Surtees that we went in a while ago. There was a chalk and cheese difference between that boat and this boat, and now with this prop it feels very, very similar to that Surtees 700 Game Fisher. So it just shows what the correct prop setup can actually do.
And the other thing too is it just seems to run smoother.
It does.
Just cruising around, it just smoother.
The Suzuki was smooth as it was, and now it's even smoother. There's even less vibration. It doesn't sort of want to walk sideways. I don't know. It runs straight. It's smoother.
It just seems smoother and better all round.
Yep, and we noticed it. I'm not even kidding. When we started accelerating just straight out of the marina, it just felt different. The boat straight away felt different. Less vibration, less everything.
And I guess we should say that the fitting was no drama. That the thrust, we had to use the SOLAS thrust washer. And there was no drama putting that on, and it sits really nicely. And by the time we used the forward thrust washer and
it's a good point. Everything that came in the box, it just worked. There was no dramas. We followed the instructions. It all went together straight away. This is something that honestly you don't need to pay someone to put this on. You can do this yourself as long as you get the right advice to get the right propeller. And obviously Peter Bobcat has made the recommendation today for me, and it's absolutely outstanding. So I do recommend you give him a call. Don't worry about just copying what I've got, because I do different things, more people on the boat, more load, always offshore. It's not necessarily for you. but it works great for what my particular requirements were. So I recommend you reach out to Peter or to SOLAS directly. But anyway, I think that's money absolutely well spent. This, you know, not really saving anything on fuel, but the experience now on the boat, on the water, is a much nicer experience. So, which is what I wanted.
Yeah, and I guess probably for the spend, it's probably the most effective thing you could do in terms of modification.
Period. Yeah, absolutely. All right, hope you guys found that interesting, and yeah, in summary, highly recommend it. So go get yourself one.
Ready?
Let's do it.